You made it. Welcome back, you BEA beautiful souls, SolidSol here, and today I want to talk about what is actually killing for honor. Now, you guys may believe that Hitakiri and Orochi, Pirate, all the Outlanders, all those damn heretics are actually killing for honor, where you're up against all the unblockable spam, all of the strongest ganks in the entire world. But I would like to suggest another point that I'm pretty sure most of you guys have felt the same way, okay? It's not just the strong characters and the balance, which, to be fair, the balance has been a lot better because they focus on feats, which is such a big part of this game, especially since they focus so much on 4v4, which is the main game mode, and I'm glad that they've been working on that, really. It's a great thing. Juggernaut's nerfed, Afira's feats are nerfed, all those good things, and hopefully they will actually nerf Shuriken to the ground, and Ki has been deleted, basically deleted from the game. A lot of Orochis don't use it anymore. Even though there was a bajillion Orochis in my games, last stream of 8 hours, there were at least 2 Orochis on the other team, and it was just the most cancerous thing ever, because Orochi is just a brain rot character. You can play that character with one hand, and you can hold your other hand can hold your cock, okay? Your boyfriend's cock, actually. But that's besides the point. That character is ridiculous, needs nerfed to the ground. But the other thing that is killing for honor is the major disconnects and the shitty servers. That is the main reason why For Honor, I think it's one of the main reasons why For Honor will never ever succeed, is because they advertise as dedicated servers, but we get disconnected constantly. Every other game has a bot on my team or the other team. Either 2 bots throughout the entire game with 0 backfill. 0. There were weird times where a player will join at 700 points. Or 800 points. It is the weirdest thing ever. Are there actually not that much players playing this game? I know for sure that the view counts for Honor are down like crazy because there's other games. There are better games to play, like Elden Ring. Even X Defiant, which is Ubisoft's new free-to-play shooter game that's exactly like Call of Duty and Siege mixed together, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty cool concept. I like playing the beta and alpha, but For Honor is just not a good game to play, man. Like, it is my favorite game, but I always joke about how it's the most underrated game of all time. But to be fair, it feels like an indie game. It honestly feels like an indie game where the developers have one person working on balance, one person working on maps, and all the people that are working at the dev team have their head up their asses. Like 9 times out of 10. I think I'm being rude here, obviously, but like, come on, dude. It's just a horrible experience. Nobody in this game likes fighting bots, especially mixed with real players. There's a lot of people that enjoy PvE, but fighting all bots is a different story when it comes to fighting players and then bots, because these bots read your inputs, and there's not much you can really do. There's really not much you can really do it against a very good Orochi bot, a freaking level 10, level 99 Varangian bot, a Fira bot, Ocelot bot. What's another strong bot? BP bot is also very good because he just flips everything you do. And then when you heavy feint, and he's in bulwark stance, right? He's in bulwark stance, and you heavy feint, you're like, this guy's gonna flip me. I'm gonna heavy feint and GB. But he gets out of bulwark stance right after the heavy feint. It's like, okay, so you knew I was gonna heavy feint and guard break you to punish your attempt. Like, a real player would have gotten baited by that, or they would have just let the unblockable fly. But the bots just wait for you to do something, and then they read your inputs, and then at that point they've stalled better than a real player. And I get it. I get why you have to make the bots strong, because if you get no backfills, which there is no system in place for backfilling, no real system, it just happens out of thin air, okay? The Tooth Fairy comes and just makes a new player join the lobby. You know, a level 2 player who just joins the lobby, and then you're basically dead. You're basically dead anyway. It's like, well, what's the point of even having a backfill? And plus, there's no XP gain that you get for joining a game like Overwatch. I would love it if they did a system like Overwatch where you get points for even joining a game at the last 2 seconds. That would be amazing. You know, having a good player join your lobbies when you are triple cap, you can win those games. I've played like 3 hours of For Honor yesterday, and I've done 2 of those games. We've won games where I've joined triple capped, and we would just steamroll them afterwards because they have me and some other decent players on my team. It's like, okay, let's win this game. We can win it. but that's only if players actually join the lobbies. It feels like I'm playing peer-to-peer right now. It feels like I'm playing before Season 5 when they added dedicated servers. That's how crappy the For Honor experience has been. There's barely any For Honor streamers that actually play the game for people to watch. Actually, I don't even think people like watching For Honor that much. There's a lot of people that watch For Honor on YouTube, but that's at their own time. But when it comes to streaming on Twitch and all that stuff, it has such a shit population where nobody really wants to watch it because it's just constant errors, constant disconnects, constant bots, unless you're force stacking. I should not have to pick up 3 dudes every single time I play For Honor. You should not force that upon players, especially in a casual setting. Especially in a casual setting. You should not have to pick up 3 players so that nobody rage quits on your team. People should just not be rage quitting in general. Or most importantly, there should be some punishments for leavers, even in a casual setting. If you leave constantly in this game, which is supposed to be very and highly competitive, which they designed it to be that way. They designed it to be highly competitive in 1v1s when it first launched, and then towards like Season 5 or 6 or 7, they started gravitating towards 4v4 because it was more interesting, and a lot of people liked watching it. They thought that duels was boring, but as soon as they started making characters have very strong offense, duels became a little bit more interesting. So Duel Frenzy is really fun to watch. I liked watching that. I would love to support this game more competitively, but when I play this game for fun in the matchmaking settings, it's just not a fun experience, and it makes me hate the game. Like, I hate it, but I also love it. You know, I'm in a toxic ass relationship with this game, and I just can't get out. I just can't get out because of that Nobusi. I just can't get out, man. Shaman's too fun. Warden's fun. Lawbringer is horrible. I'm so sad. I'm just sad because Lawbringer and Conqueror have been gutted to the ground, and it made the game so unfun for me to play those characters. You guys know how I feel about that. Those characters are absolutely dog shit tier, and I want to take the person who reworked those characters and towards the testing grounds 2 iteration, and they were like, "This is fine. This is good. We did a great job, team. We did a great job. Let's go out and eat some Applebee's. Let's go ahead and go to the Waffle House where we learned how to make our new character in For Honor, throw in freaking chairs and shit. You know, like, that person needs to fight 2 Orochis on the other team, 2 Black Priors. Yeah, Oathbreaker still has some counterplay. Oh, sure, JC. Sure. Yeah, just don't play For Honor. Close your PC, break your disk, uninstall For Honor. That's how you counterplay Oathbreaker. That is actually how you counterplay Oathbreaker. My god, what a cancerous feat. Cancerous character with Orochi running around, 2 of them without any single pick. Absolutely disgusting. And the point about casual matchmaking is that it should be fun. And it is fun when there's 4 players on the other team and 4 players on my team. And if someone leaves and someone joins back in, like, within a minute or 30 seconds, I would be totally okay with that. But the thing is, people can just task manager on PC, end it, they can leave without any repercussions. Console players can just close the app, open it up again, and join back in. And that just means that incentivizes people to just leave whenever they feel like they lose the first fight. I cannot tell you how many times people just left within the first fight. This game is not about winning every single fight. Every single initiation is not always going to be a dub. Even the pro players, even the best players, lose the first fight. And they lose a couple of fights too, but you can win afterwards. You can bring it back. And I know a lot of people, I've seen it in my comments, that say that they come back from a long day of work and they just want to have fun and just stomp on people for like a couple of hours or an hour or two, and they don't want to waste time when they know that there's another good team on the other side. And I get it, dude. I honestly do. But this is a competitive game. You know, it's a fun game for sure, but it's also pretty competitive because there's only 4 players. The more players a game has in a lobby, the more casual it will be. The less players, that means the more, if you mess up more, people will notice it. People will notice it, and it will affect your team tremendously, and you will just get steamrolled. You will absolutely get steamrolled. So the only way, honestly, one of the ways to counteract For Honor on making it more casual is adding more players. And I know that sounds like a crazy idea because, like, imagine 6 people ganking 1 person. Like, imagine that. Just imagine like a six people gank squad, like gank spanking 1 dude out in the open. That sounds like a horrible idea, right? But guess what? If they actually buffed Revenge and made it useful, then maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea. You know, giving them super armor. So you wouldn't just get knocked back 24/7 and just wonder why you even were born. You know, why you still play this game? Why do you still play this game? You know, like having more players is going to solve that issue. It could definitely make it a lot more competitive and have more variables, which would be incredibly fun. I'd love to see some type of form like that with Ubisoft in the future in For Honor 2, but at this moment in time, For Honor is not a fun game objectively. Objectively, this game is not fun, and it is dying tremendously. Viewer counts on YouTube is low. That happens from time to time when a new game is released, but it's been low for a while. Even my channel has been suffering a bit, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me lately. It's been mainly just For Honor content, and I'm glad you guys have been enjoying that. But you know, For Honor content creators can only make so much For Honor content, especially when they're dry dripping us like crazy. I love this game to death. I would love to play it for my entire life until I'm a freaking old grandpa. I'm old. I'm basically dying right now. You know, anything past 2021 is basically dying. Yeah, I'm dead already. I'm almost dead. I'm in my deathbed, and I just want to play this game for fun, and I want this game to be good. You know, I just want this game to be good already, because it's getting better. No doubt, it's getting better, but with the constant disconnects, no punishment for leavers, it's just a horrible experience for anybody that just wants to have fun in this game. Anybody that just wants to have fun. If you're trying to enjoy this game and you see an Orochi or two Orochis or two Shigokis, any two characters on the other team that have, even if they're just throwing heavies and stuff, it can be hard to fight against that because of all the indicators. I cannot tell you how many times I got hit in the back, I got backshotted because the indicators swap sides. Like, where do I block? Like, where am I supposed to freaking block? And that's definitely a fundamental thing that For Honor probably would need to adjust in the future. I don't know if they could. Maybe they could add a back block stance, but that could be hard because controller, you want to input that as a full block instead of a blocking animation or blocking input. So very confusing. But back to the point at hand. I've had too many games on stream and off stream. I play this game off stream too because I love it to death. It's incredibly satisfying when you do get those dubs and anti-ganks. And the team fights are also very fun too. But can you win 2v4s? Can you win 3v4s? Yes, you can. But it is so much effort. It is so much effort. Even if you have a level 4 bot, like fighting against good players or players in general, it can be a pain in the ass. And all that sweat and blood and work is not really worth it from time to time. I can understand that a lot of people don't enjoy that. It's definitely not worth it to someone who's not really super into For Honor. And our player count has been about 2 to 3k players, 4k players, like every day on Steam count. So that's not including console players or maybe even Battle Pass. I don't know if For Honor's on Battle Pass, but you know, it's definitely not a bad player count for a game that's lasted 10 years. And yes, For Honor is still alive. It is still alive, but it's slowly dying, as every game is. But I feel like it's getting worse because of the constant disconnects and the servers that are basically non-existent. And of course, in 10 years, actually 8 years, we still don't have a ranked Dominion. How am I to take this game seriously when I constantly get disconnected in casual matchmaking, and there's no way for me to test my skills against, you know, good players and rank up? There's no incentive to learn the game at a higher level because there's no ranked Dominion. I have to go out of my way, go to a Discord, the Discord dojo, set up scrims and do all that stuff. Even though I play For Honor almost every other single day, like I shouldn't have to work that hard to get that. I've worked so hard on making my content already. Like, that's the time I've sacrificed, my blood, sweat, and tears, and my time to focus on my content creation. Like, that is enough for me. And if I want to play some ranked Dominion and post some clips on YouTube, I should be able to do that without having to talk to like a bajillion different people, and just make it so that I can get a 4 stack of players. You know, sometimes I just want to solo queue. I don't want to have to play with people all the damn time. It's fun solo queuing. There's different variables you can do here. In Overwatch, ranked games are they're fun. They're honestly fun. It can be frustrating because it's a competitive game. Competitive games are frustrating, but they're also fun. They're fun to challenge yourself, challenge your skill. And matchmaking games and competitive games are two different worlds. They're actually two different worlds. And there's a lot of learning you have to do with those games. You know, the skill curve is insane. A good matchmaking player is like nothing compared to like a high-level competitive player. You basically have no chance coming from matchmaking to a competitive setting because there's just so many ganks and small micro plays that you actually have to think about. Where in matchmaking, people are a little bit more toned and chill, but they're still gonna try a little bit, you know. And when it comes to the competitive setting, For Honor just doesn't have that for me. There's people who really are passionate about that, but I'm passionate about making the game succeed, having it earn more money, and making it so that we can get more cool characters and more cool outfits. That's what I care about. That's how I have fun in For Honor. I care about the fashion. That's what I care about. The fashion, the plays you can make. That is the most important thing for me in For Honor. Okay, and I know a lot of you agree with me on this sentiment. A lot of you guys could care less about the competitive scene, as do I. But I care so much about the game's balance, the health of the game. That's why I've been supporting it for so long. And right now, at this moment in time, the state of For Honor, it just sucks. It honestly sucks. Every single game has bots. Every single game has at least 2 Orochis or 2 Shugokis, because those characters are absolutely nightmares. And I can't believe I forgot about Hitakeris. 2 Hitakeris, man. It's just horrible. You know, I feel like I should touch grass. I do touch grass, by the way. I feel like I should just touch grass and take a break from For Honor, because I posted a Darktide video. I also play Darktide, and I make Darktide videos too from time to time, and those videos do really well. Thank you guys so much for supporting me on the Darktide videos. You know, that really goes a long way. I love that game too. It's one of my it's my relaxation game. You know, it's such a fun game for a lot of players. Of course, it also has its issues, but at least the core gameplay is satisfying, and I can just sit back and relax because it's a PvE game, but you're also kind of sweating too because there's so much crap going on in there. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's the last video I just posted. But that game definitely has its issues. It definitely has its issues. But For Honor, it is like a crazy ex-goth freaking mommy. They have problems. It's the girls with the nose rings, the septas. Like, those are the things you want to avoid. And For Honor is basically that, but we just keep coming back. We just keep coming back. It's just not the best experience, even for new players. I noticed that a lot of new players, they're also in my lobbies too. And that's totally not okay. Because a new player should never have to fight someone who is like above 100 reps. It's like, that's the worst experience you can give them. They absolutely get stomped. And it's going to be hard for them to learn against that. That definitely could be a skill issue, but that is just not a good experience. That is definitely not a good experience. If they actually want to learn the game, there should actually be a good ranked experience. A good ranked experience that sets your MMR so that you could fight someone of similar or slightly higher skill level. But like a rep 30 fighting a rep 200 or rep 800, dude, that's wild. That is actually wild and totally unfair matchmaking. I cannot tell you how many games I've had where I, unfortunately, am almost rep 900, and I'm stuck with like 330 rep players, and the other team has at least 3 or 4 rep 200 plus teams. The game expects me to carry my 3 new players or 2 new players, and that is so hard to do, dude. That is ridiculously hard. You have to have amazing ganks. You can't anti-gank every single team fight. Like, it's just not possible. With the amount of strong feats and strong characters that require reads and not reactions anymore, it's just impossible. And that's setting you up for failure. It honestly is. And I feel like I'm also rambling at the moment, so I apologize, but For Honor is definitely dying. And it's not the characters, it's not Orochi, it's not Hitakiri, it's not the Outlanders, it's actually just the servers. They're actually dog shit. And it's the bots with no backfills. That is the problem with For Honor, and there's no punishment for these leavers who also just want to have fun and also leave on the first fight. You know, those are the actual brain rot players, the bitches, you know, the bitchless, the ones with no bitches. They just don't care, man, and that's totally fine to like want to leave a game and whatnot, but you have to give them a ban of some sort. Anytime you leave a game, anytime whatsoever, whether it's disconnect, an error or whatever, after they fix that shit, like Ubisoft needs to obviously fix that error and the disconnects, the crappy servers. Once they do that, I think it's more fair to make sure that players get like a 20-minute ban so that they can't join a game again. So they can cool off and relax, okay? Cool off and relax after like a 10-minute ban so that at least they're not in your next game. Like that's the most important thing. Or make it so that you queue all of those levers in the same lobby. Just like how I think Siege does that too. Siege does that where or other games. I don't know what a ranked game does that, but they do it so that anybody who rage quits or leaves games or cheats gets stuck in games with those types of players. And that's what I would want for them, because as soon as those levers find a really good game where they stomp the lobbies, they're like, oh, I'm amazing at this game. I'm amazing, so I'm gonna stay in the lobby. We're winning like 700 points to 0. Those people stay in those games. But I am a different breed. I stay in games where we are losing by 600 points, you know? And my team, when I just joined, I'm like, wow, okay, I guess I'll just stay. Well, it might be winnable. I win this. I'd win. I'd win for sure. And I've definitely done it. It's a challenge, but it's possible. But that's what I really want to say about the matter at hand. It's a long video. I rambled a lot, but I also am very passionate about making this game a lot better for all of us. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If your experience have been the same, I know they've been the same. I know they've been the same. I think you guys probably feel the same way about me when it comes to all of these shenanigans that For Honor has given us. You know, do you guys still play For Honor? Do you guys just leave For Honor when there's just bots on your team? Because I used to not leave and leave games when I get like 1 or 2 bots, but like now I am starting to rethink my process and be less honorable, or just save my mental. As soon as I get a bot or there's like 2 bots on my team and we don't get a backfill within like a minute, I think I'm just gonna Alt F4, bro. I'm honestly just debating on leaving now, because players on other teams, they don't give you any slack. They just dominate. They just try to dominate you, and they 4v1 you or they gank you to death. And if they have Oathbreaker on the other side, it's Joe over. It's actually Joe over for you. And people don't care about giving you a good time. They just want to win. And I get that sentiment, but like there's a bot on my team, dude, cut me some slack. At the same time though, like the bots can be very good and they can win you your games. And nobody wants to lose against bots. It's probably one of the most embarrassing feelings, obviously. But these bots are also incredibly powerful. You should never really feel embarrassed by losing against them, because they're so freaking good. They read your inputs. And that's all I want to say at the matter at hand here. I think that's my point has been made. My point has been made. Bots are ruining. The AI has gotten way too powerful. The AI has seeped into For Honor, and now we are suffering for it. We are actually suffering. So let me know your thoughts down below, and if you guys enjoy what I do here, leave me a thumbs up, and also, of course, check out the Dark Type video. I think you guys will enjoy my new content style, and I'll be trying to make more videos like that more in the future, because For Honor definitely feels like it's dying. The viewership is low, and you know, I think it might just be time to like move on, because as fun as this game is, people just don't like watching it as much as they used to, and that is super sad to see this game go down a route where it's so hard to come back from. It honestly is so hard to come back from, because this game has such a bad reputation. It has such a bad reputation, and there's just no way to fix it. There's no way to fix it unless they do a huge revamp for Honor 2 and literally advertise, this game has servers. This game actually has servers. There's no other game. There's no other game like For Honor where you get disconnected all the time. Every single game is bots. There's no game like that. Absolutely no game that I've ever played. And For Honor is the master when it comes to that. It's like, they think it's something to be proud of, honestly. They think it's something to be proud of. But that's it for me. I'm done rambling. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. See you later.